Thanks for staying with us. Bassirou Diomaye Faye was sworn in as the West African nation's fifth and youngest president ever. He's promising to restore stability and bring economic progress. The 44-year-old former tax inspector defeated Amadou Ba, the candidate of outgoing President Macky Sall's ruling coalition, by landslide in the first round of voting, reflecting high hopes for change in the country of around 18 million.
Devant Dieu et devant la nation sénégalaise.
Before God and the Senegalese nation, I swear that I will faithfully fulfill the office of President of the Republic of Senegal, and that I will scrupulously observe and ensure the observance of the provisions of the Constitution and the laws. Under my leadership, Senegal will be a country of hope, a country at peace, with an independent justice system and a strengthened democracy. This is my promise, based on the oath I have just taken before God and the nation, in your presence. By promoting the cult of hard work, ethical management, discipline and love of country, I pledge to set Senegal firmly and sustainably on the path to economic and social progress. I am aware that the results of the ballot box express a profound desire for systemic change. Through my election, the Senegalese people have committed themselves to building a fair Senegal, a prosperous Senegal, a progressing Africa.
L'amour de la patrie à mettre résolument.
And several African leaders have attended the inauguration of President Bassirou Diomaye Faye. Faye won last month's delayed election, securing 54% of the total votes, ahead of his main challenger, ruling coalition candidate Amadou Ba. On Friday, the country's Constitutional Council confirmed him as a winner of the election. Security was beefed up around the presidential palace. About 15 heads of state attended the event, including Nigeria's president and chair of the heads of state of the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, Bola Tinubu, African Union Chair Musa Faki, and ECOWAS Commission President Omar Alieu Toure. Okay, joining us with the latest from Senegal is RISE senior correspondent Oyi Odia. Oyi, good evening here from Nigeria, I would say. I'm sure it's evening there too in Senegal, maybe just a little time zone different. Tell us, how did the whole ceremony go? It's a renewed hope for the Senegalese people, particularly the youths.
Exactly. It's evening right here in Dakar, Senegal. Nigeria is just about 1 hour ahead. It was a very solemn ceremony, a message of peace, a message of unity, a message of national development by the youngest elected African president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye. And he did mention a couple of things that he's going to do. He vowed to tackle corruption. He also said he's going to introduce a series of economic reforms to prioritize national interests, including the renegotiation of oil, gas, and mineral contracts with foreign operators. Interestingly, he attended the inauguration with his two wives, harping on the issue of national unity. It's an inauguration that was attended by top African leaders and also diplomats and dignitaries from around the world. And Senegalese did troop out in the thousands to attend the ceremony. And more thousands were actually outside, also eagerly meeting the new president. And after a ceremony, going to his usual aid, was driving out of the National Conference upscale of Dakar to see the expectation, the in the face of thousands of Senegalese who are waiting and hoping that he's able to meet the expectation. A lot of weight on the shoulder of this 44-year-old president. Christian?
Thank you very much, Oyi, for that summary. Now, tell us, has he made any significant appointment since he's been sworn in as president just a few hours ago? we're hearing that the main opposition leader on whose back he rode to victory, both of them were briefly in detention or jailed, Sanko, is he going to be named the prime minister to work along with him for this new political development in Senegal? Tell us, Ohi.
No doubt, Sanko will have a very pro this administration. You know, during the inauguration itself, I did count some members of the Pastor Party, which is now the government in Senegal. It is that they expect a very working relationship between Sanko and Faye. Rightly so, Faye is president to immense support from that leader. But then, rightly pointed out, of so-called God for Africa, we hope that they'll work together to have a case to the presidential palace. But in a couple of days, hours, I get to know what specific Sanko playing. Christian?
Yeah, okay. We lost you just briefly there. The audio was intermittent. But if you're hearing me very quickly now, tell us what's the place of the youth in the government of Bassirou Faye, considering that he today is made history as the youngest elected president in Africa. We're not talking of comparing him to the military despots who were much, much younger, who came to power either at the age of 29 or 32 in Burkina Faso, in Nigeria, and some other African countries of Europe. Ohi?
Exactly. Yes, the youths are going to play a very critical role. You understand, because he's today the president of Senegal, because thousands of those youths came out to vote en masse and was able to garner more than 54% of the vote. And a pivotal issue in Senegal right now is the issue of youth unemployment. That is one he has to tackle very, very quickly. So the youths are looking up to him. They put him there and they expect him to deliver the results. So we get to see in the coming days and weeks and years ahead, and see if Faye is able to meet up with all of these expectations.
All right, thank you so very much. Arise, senior correspondent in Dakar, the capital of Senegal, Ohi Odia, will expect much more news coming out of the place, particularly maybe Faye will be naming his cabinet and making key appointments like we said earlier. Thanks very much, Ohi.